Comparison can happen before a person even notices it. Someone sees a friend's promotion, a neighbor's house, a classmate's body, or a stranger's vacation photo, and suddenly their own life feels smaller. The comparison may last only seconds, but it can change mood, confidence, spending, ambition, and even the way a person treats themselves. Social comparison means judging some part of yourself against someone else. It can involve money, looks, intelligence, parenting, career, relationships, popularity, or progress. The mind uses other people as reference points because human beings are social learners. We often understand where we stand by looking around. There is a practical reason comparison exists. In groups, status and belonging once affected safety, resources, and mating opportunities. Paying attention to who was respected, skilled, trusted, or excluded helped people navigate the group. The modern world changed the scale, but the brain still reacts strongly to signs of rank and belonging. Upward comparison happens when someone looks at a person who seems ahead. This can inspire growth if the comparison feels reachable. A beginner runner watching a slightly faster friend may feel motivated. But if the gap feels impossible or unfair, upward comparison can create shame, envy, and the feeling of being permanently behind. Downward comparison happens when someone looks at a person who seems worse off. It can create gratitude or perspective, but it can also become a way to protect ego. If someone only feels secure by looking down on others, their confidence remains fragile because it depends on someone else staying below them. Social media intensifies comparison because it shows edited highlights without full context. A person may compare their ordinary Tuesday to another person's vacation photo, filtered body, business milestone, or romantic anniversary post. The comparison feels real, but the evidence is incomplete. You are seeing a selected moment, not a whole life. Career comparison can be especially painful. Two people may start in the same place, but one gets promoted earlier. The other may feel lazy or behind, even if the promotion involved timing, industry growth, a different manager, family support, or a willingness to move cities. The mind often compares outcomes while ignoring conditions. Money comparison works the same way. A friend may drive a better car, but the viewer does not see the loan, family help, debt, inheritance, or business risk behind it. Another person's spending is easy to observe. Their financial pressure is usually private. That missing information makes comparison emotionally convincing but often inaccurate. Comparison hurts most when it touches identity. If a person secretly believes they are falling behind, every success story becomes evidence. If they fear they are unattractive, every photo becomes a test. The comparison is not only about the other person. It activates a private insecurity that was already waiting for proof. Comparison is not always bad. It can reveal possibility. Seeing someone learn a language, leave a harmful job, repair a relationship, or build savings can show that change is possible. Healthy comparison becomes information. What can I learn? Unhealthy comparison becomes a verdict. What is wrong with me? One problem is using the wrong metric. A person may compare income with someone who works twice the hours, fitness with someone who has trained for years, or parenting with someone who has more help at home. The visible result is not the full equation. Fair comparison requires comparing the process, not just the outcome. Comparison also grows when people believe there is not enough respect, love, success, or opportunity to go around. Someone else's achievement then feels like a personal loss. In reality, another person's progress may have nothing to do with your path, but scarcity thinking turns their good news into a threat. The emotional reaction gives useful information. Inspiration usually feels energizing, even if it challenges you. Envy often feels tight, bitter, or self-attacking. Resentment may suggest an unmet desire. Instead of pretending comparison does not exist, it can be useful to ask what the reaction is pointing toward. Self-worth becomes unstable when it depends on constant ranking. There will always be someone richer, younger, smarter, more admired, more disciplined, or further ahead in one area. A life built entirely around comparison never reaches a final resting place because the scoreboard keeps changing. A practical reset is to compare yourself with your own previous position. Are your habits improving? Are your relationships more honest? Are you learning from mistakes? Are you closer to the life you actually value? This kind of comparison still challenges you, but it keeps the reference point connected to your real path. Values help filter comparisons. If freedom matters more than status, a high-paying but exhausting job may not be the right comparison target. If family time matters more than prestige, another person's promotion may not represent the life you want. Without clear values, every impressive thing starts to look like something you should chase. It helps to talk back to the comparison. I do not know the full story. Their success is not my failure. What part of this do I actually want? These sentences are not magic, but they interrupt the automatic ranking process and turn emotional reaction into a more honest question. Comparison can damage relationships when another person becomes a mirror for insecurity instead of a human being. A friend's success may trigger distance. A partner's strength may feel threatening. Celebrating others becomes easier when your own worth is not being decided by their achievements. People compare because the brain wants orientation. Where do I stand? What is possible? Am I safe, valued, and progressing? The mistake is treating every comparison as truth. Most comparisons are partial, emotional, and missing context. They are signals, not final judgments. Comparison often becomes painful when people compare backstage reality with someone else's highlight reel. You know your doubts, debts, delays, and private struggles. You may only see another person's promotion, vacation, body, relationship, or perfect photo. The comparison feels objective, but the evidence is uneven from the start. Social media intensifies this because it removes context. A photo can show a new house without showing the lone stress. A fitness post can show a body without showing injury, hunger, genetics, or years of training. The image is real, but it is not the full story. Comparison can also point toward genuine desire. If someone's career makes you jealous, the useful question may be what part you actually want: freedom, recognition, income, creativity, security, or respect. Envy becomes less toxic when it is translated into information about your own values. The danger is letting comparison become identity judgment. Seeing someone ahead of you in one area does not prove you are behind in life. It only shows one difference on one visible measure. A healthier response is to borrow useful lessons without turning another person's timeline into your scoreboard. A practical boundary is to compare actions, not identities. Instead of saying, "They are better than me," ask what habit, choice, support, or skill helped them move forward. That keeps comparison from becoming shame and turns it into something you can actually use. The healthiest use of comparison is not to stop noticing other people. It is to notice without surrendering your self-worth. Let comparison reveal desires, models, and lessons, but do not let it become the judge of your life. Your path still has to be measured against your values, your constraints, and your next honest step.